Hey, it's Michael with the Black Belt Project, back with another video to update you on my own personal Black Belt project. And in today's video, I wanted to talk about mental strength and how to build it, and this concept of progressive resistance, so you can get an idea of kind of where we're headed with this, um, these building of tasks and everything. So let's talk first about what I added to my list. I'm starting to get kind of through my, stuff as far as getting ready preliminary in the morning, and now I'm starting to get into the things that I do for work. And so I added a task. Just first thing I want to do is check my email. So um, I put that on my list there. Now some of these tasks that I'm adding, they have a lot more steps to them, like check email, for example. There's a lot that goes into processing your email. And for now though, I'm just going to put the global check email, and then as I kind of add things to my day here, I'll kind of, as I feel like it, go in and kind of expand some of these larger tasks into smaller items. So, and that kind of fits into what I want to talk about here, and that is, I want you to kind of look at each task that you do as like as a weight, like a 5 pound weight. And some tasks that you do that are pretty hard to do, like for example, if I wanted to go out today and run a mile, well, it'd take a lot for me to kind of get the mental energy, mental strength up to kind of go out and do that. So now, if you tell me to, sit here and surf online, well, that's a much easier task, just to check my email or something like that. So those two particular tasks, they weigh different amounts. So when we're trying to figure out how to be as productive as we can, what we have to do is realize that every task in front of us is just like lifting a weight. And instead of using, like physical strength to lift that weight, we're using mental strength to get that task done. And that's the whole point of the mental strength bar, is to kind of get to the point where, okay, how much weight, how many tasks are we doing? And you know, what do we do when we hit a wall and we can't do any more tasks? And the same thing happens when you're in the gym and you're lifting physical weights. And what people end up doing in the gym, let's say that somebody gets to the point where they can lift a couple hundred pounds. Well, if they want to increase the amount of weight they're doing, they don't throw another 200 pounds on the bars. They might throw just a pound or two on the bar, just to get a little bit more progressive resistance that increases what they're doing, but on such a small scale they might not even notice it. And so that's what we're going to be doing with these tasks. Once we reach a wall of what we're doing and identifying where our mental strength is we're going to try and use progressive resistance just to get just a little bit more out of our day, but such a small amount that we're not really realizing it. So as you know, what you do, you start your task sequentially for the day, and you start through them, and you set your mental strength bar, and then you do it really low to begin with so that it's easy to get that done, and you kind of build on your success. But there'll come a day when you add so many tasks that you just, one falls out or two fall out, and well, what do you do then? So we'll talk about that. But that's when you're starting to reach, how much mental strength you got, and then that's when we kind of will take a step back and say, okay, that's how much we can do, and then we'll just keep doing that until we make sure nothing drops out, and then we'll kind of add just a little bit more weight or just a little additional task just to kind of make sure that we can add that, and then with it making sure that nothing else falls out. So if that makes sense. So the thing that I want you to kind of take from this video is that the ability to do tasks is just like the ability to lift weights. And you know it's easy to go to the gym and figure out, okay, I'm lifting 100 pounds, and it's not so easy to figure out how much weight we're lifting. And that's the whole idea of this perfect day checklist, is to figure out how much weight or how many tasks we're actually lifting or doing, so that we can identify our mental strength and then start to work on increasing it. And the other thing is that by visualizing what it is that you want to do on a daily basis, it's much easier to get it done if you know what you set out to do. So that's a whole nother mental story. But anyway, my checklist, if you want to follow along by building it, I got a link to that down in the description, so you can kind of see what I've been adding each day. You got any questions, and put them in the comments. You got any questions about this concept of progressive resistance tasks compared to weights and kind of my philosophy behind that, put them in the comments. And if you like what I'm doing, let me know by hitting the like button. That way I know that I'm coming through, and at least it's a message that you agree with. And then as I get my hands around kind of getting these instructions a little bit more fine-tuned, and I'll put a link up in the corner to kind of an audio CD to kind of walk you through these things better step by step. So here's mastering our life one step at a time, and I'll see you in the next video. Keep working on your black belt project.